There's a lie that high capacity leaders tell themselves, and it sounds responsible. It sounds strong. It even sounds like leadership. It's the, I can handle it. And most of the time, you can. That's the problem. Because the ability to carry something does not mean you were ever meant to hold it. You build a life, a business, a reputation on being the one who can step in, figure it out, hold the line, take the hit, make the decision. You've trained people who, without realizing it, you've trained people that when something gets heavy, it goes to you. And now you're not just leading the business, you're stabilizing it, which means that your capacity is not the problem. Your relationship to your capacity is. Because what starts as capability quietly becomes expectation. An expectation turns into dependency. This is where it gets subtle because nothing looks broken from the outside. From the outside, the business is moving, the team is functioning, the results are there, but underneath it all, everything still routes through you. It's not always visible, but it's always present in the structure because you're the escalation points, the decision filter, the emotional regulator. You're even the safety net. And because you can carry it all on those shoulders of yours, no one questions whether you should. And this is where we have to get honest. This is where we have to get real because faith isn't about proving how much you can hold. There's no question about that. Faith is about trusting what was actually assigned to you. And some of what you're carrying right now was never yours to begin with. Not assigned to you doesn't mean that you don't care or that you're avoiding responsibility or that you're stepping back from leadership. That's not what it means. It actually means that you are holding things that belong to other people's roles, other people's growth, other people's decisions, or systems that were never fully built out. And so you have stepped in to bridge a gap, and then you never step back out. And here's what it's costing you, not just in terms of time or energy, but I mean, it's costing you those things, but it is also costing you clarity, vision, presence, and your actual leadership position. Because the more you carry, the less you can actually lead. When you are operating from the, I'll just handle it, I got this, no problems, it's mine, I'll take care of it. When you're operating from that, you drop into a frequency of control, urgency, and even silence over responsibility because you get quiet while you take it all on. And that might not be how you're feeling underneath, but you smile, keep that mask, and keep on going. Your team can actually feel that. So they defer, they wait, they hesitate because they're not really sure what's happening. But because the system has already taught them that you'll take it anyway. Oh, Let's start disrupting that. Just because you can carry it doesn't mean that it's yours. And just because you've always handled it doesn't mean that you're supposed to keep handling it. And just because everything hasn't fallen apart yet doesn't mean it's actually working either. When you're in business, and I want you to think about this, where in your business, when you're in your business, where in your business are you carrying something that no longer belongs to you? Where have you become the solution instead of actually building one? And what would happen if you actually stopped holding it? Strong leadership is not proven by how much you can carry. There's no doubt about how much you can carry. But strong leadership is revealed by what you're willing to release. Not that easy, I understand. So I want you to start with just one thing. Identify one area where you are the default. You are the backstop. You are the automatic solution. And then I want you to pause. And I want you to let the gap reveal itself, because that gap, that's where the system needs to be built. You were never meant to be the system. You were meant to lead it. And if everything is still depending on you, that's not capacity. That's a structure that hasn't been completed yet. If something in this episode fit, you're likely carrying more than your role was meant to hold.
Leadership isn't what you perform, it's what you embody. If this conversation resonated, share it with someone ready to lead differently. And remember, when your faith ignites your fire amplifies your frequency. Until next time.